I got that California, got that
Ever since the very first debut of the legendary Super Saiyan form, many people drew distinct similarities between this transformation and the one Trunks underwent in his fight against Perfect Cell. These relations are not without their merits, of course. Both forms look eerily similar. Both transformations give the user a ridiculous boost in muscle mass and strength, making the user look obscenely buff. I mean, who needs to go to the gym when you can just Kakarot your way into it, am I right? Of course, the increase of muscle mass is not the only similarity, as most Super Saiyan transformations other than the Super Saiyan God transformation offer some kind of boost in that department. But in the Super Saiyan Grade 3 form, or Ultra Super Saiyan, whatever term you prefer using, Trunks' eyes goes completely blank for a brief second when he reaches that stage, which is the biggest reason why he does look like Broly. Although to be fair, it should be the other way around, and Broly is the one who actually copies Trunks, since movie 8 actually came out after Trunks' fight with Perfect Cell. But I digress. Despite these two forms looking pretty much the same, the two forms couldn't be more different when it comes to ability, as both forms grant the user different power boosts. And just like you read from the title of this video, I'll address why exactly Broly doesn't suffer the exact same drawbacks as Trunks does, despite the increase in muscle mass. Because as we all know, the Super Saiyan Grade 3 form is a state where the user gains tremendous amount of strength by sacrificing lots of speed and mobility. You can hit very hard, but not so fast. On the other hand, Broly suffers none of those consequences, as he is able to increase his strength and muscle mass to even greater heights than Trunks, and suffer absolutely no apparent loss of mobility, as he is able to easily take on a mastered Super Saiyan Goku and Gohan. Now, for the longest time we were able to say it's BS that Broly doesn't lose speed, and dismiss the legendary Super Saiyan form by calling it non-canon. Well, foolish child of mine, we can no longer say that, as Broly is already back. And no, I'm not talking about the movie that is coming in 2019. That's a different story for a different video. I'm talking about Kale, who basically accomplishes the same exact transformation as Broly does, the Berserker form. And mind you, I do realize she actually was able to control it, so it makes it kind of different. But that is besides the point, because her transformation to the Berserker form is actually an homage to the legendary Super Saiyan Broly. She fights in the same style as him, and just like Broly, she suffers no loss in speed. And before you also dismiss this and say, oh well, Dragon Ball Super clearly threw out the speed factor out of the window, let's not forget that shortly after, Caulifla reaches the Super Saiyan Grade 3 state, and was proven by Goku that the form is useless because of how heavy she became. So again, why? The reason behind this is actually simple. Kale and Broly would have and should have suffered the same exact consequences, had it not to be one little detail, and that is right here. This exact phrase, "my ki is rising, it is overflowing," which is what I told my girlfriend last night. I'm just kidding, I don't have a girlfriend. Anyways, their forms is in a constant state of replenishing ki, because their ki is increasing indefinitely, which is by the way why most people used to think Broly's power was infinite. However, that is not entirely true. Whenever Broly has way too much excess of ki, he has to eventually discharge, meaning his body can't handle all of that ki. Which is why it would make sense that his stamina wouldn't suffer, cause in Dragon Ball, the more ki you preserve, the less stamina you will expend. And I do realize some video games would suggest otherwise, but those are all games mechanics to balance gameplay so it's not unfair. But it's evident that whenever characters have more ki, they seem to fight much longer. We have seen this several times where Goku seems very tired and exhausted until his ki is replenished from the other Z fighters. Heck, even when Frieza was cut in half and almost dead, Goku shooting a ki blast at him gave him an energy boost. Some notable exceptions to what I'm saying here is Goku's Super Saiyan 3, which suffers massively from stamina issues because his ki depletes faster in that state. The form itself drains a lot of ki. So based on this, if you look at Trunks, another observation we can make why he became slower, that if you notice, unlike the legendary Super Saiyan form, the SSJ Grade 3 does not increase his height, it only added more muscles to his body. No real transformation occurred. Trunks is still in the Super Saiyan 1 state, but with more muscles. In addition, if you notice, most huge characters in the show, such as Broly, Garlic Jr., and even the Uzara form, they don't seem to lose speed whenever they gain mass, while Trunks and Khalifa look relatively the same as their bodies didn't transform into a state where they can utilize all that added mass. Because, as you know, each level of Super Saiyan transformation is basically a mutation. When Goku's hair changed to yellow, that's a mutation, a biological change occurred. Where in my opinion, the Grade 3 form isn't a complete transformation, it is basically a fake Super Saiyan 2. If you remember, when Gohan reached Super Saiyan 2 for the very first time, you can see how his body changed considerably. He gained some height and his facials changed, he even looks older. In addition, Trunks had this to say.
He did it right. He increased his strength without losing speed.
Anyways, that is basically my 2 cents on this topic. I know it may sound obscure, but I've recently seen some debates regarding the differences of these forms, and not many people seem to get it. But all in all, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I know it hasn't been 6 months yet, but I'm dropping this video anyways. I know, how very rebellious of me. And if you also want to be a rebel like me, please like this video if you haven't. Trust me, it really does help me and motivate me. Subscribe if you haven't, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.